with what has happened right now in Calabar, it makes me at this moment strongly believe that the trends have changed. Initially, I was looking forward towards the election results, just like many Nigerians were looking forward towards the election results. But with what has happened to the correspondent, it's made me change my expectations. I think at this moment, the most important thing for us in the country is no longer the election results. The most important thing is the kind of speech, the kind of victory speech either the general or the president will be preparing at the moment. That is the most important thing I am looking forward to right now. No longer if candidate A or candidate B or candidate C is declared winner or by whatever margin. Because of so much intimidation and harassment, I think the most important thing right now is for the level of detail and the level of preparation that will go into uniting the country along more rational lines.
All right, let me go to Eze Onyekpere, who we still have via Skype from our studios in Abuja. Well, speaking about the process, GT spoke about what happens to the desperation of politicians who may want to circumvent the system. The introduction of the card reader notwithstanding to improve or enhance the integrity of the elections. But do you think that perhaps speaks to, is there any connection whatsoever to politicians and maybe others who may want to overreach themselves by circumventing the system?
Well, they have always known that the politicians are desperate for power. And we've always known that even from previous elections, that they will do things that are clearly illegal and not sanctioned by the law. So what I expect beyond INEC is that all the whole authorities involved in the organization of the election should have taken note of this and devised systems and processes that will make sure that anybody who overreaches himself is brought to justice, even if it means after the elections, no matter how highly placed that person will be in society. So like it has been said, technology, good, we need to improve on it, but those who are trying to do things that are outside the contemplation of the law should not be allowed to get away with it, because we've had too much impunity in the system, and it is because of impunity that people have continued to perpetuate this kind of actions. Because if you did something yesterday and there was nothing to show that you offended the law, nobody was punished, then the other time the person will be more interested in doing it again because nothing will happen to him.
Are you optimistic that at the end of the day, when the results are announced, both parties will, in fact Nigeria, will just still witness maybe the kind of serenity to a large extent that we witnessed during these elections?
Well, I want to pray and believe that we witness that kind of serenity, but I also should think that by now that the security paraphernalia in Nigeria should have done their mapping of the violent architecture in Nigeria to know the likely flashpoints, even could have possibly deployed while retaining some mobility for them to move to new flashpoints if there is anything that happens. But the way I see Nigerians going, I see that many Nigerians will have realized by now that it doesn't make sense to be fighting for individuals who have appeared on television to embrace each other and who have told us they are not fighting themselves, that they are patriotic Nigerians simply asking for us to give them the opportunity to take control of the resources and then governance of Nigeria. So I don't want to believe that anybody will be stupid enough to do that. But if any set of people are planning that, the security paraphernalia should be able to take care of it.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Eze Onyekpere, Director, Center for Social Justice.
My pleasure.
All right, Ademola, let's also get your closing comments on this one, because now that the chairman of the commission has spoken up about this, everybody is just waiting. He says 48 hours from when the results of the elections were concluded, that's when the results start trickling in. It's also very important what happens when that results are announced.
That is the biggest challenge. That is really the biggest challenge. 48 hours, though, I'm not sure that's 48 hours from yesterday or today.
I think it's yesterday.
From yesterday. Yeah, but the election still went on today, so hopefully it's tomorrow. But that is the biggest challenge in all parts of in Africa. The result time is where it's most tense. Right now, most of the politicians, the big wigs, know where direction of the results are going to. They know it. It may be unofficial, it may be rumor, but they have a good idea where things are going. Now, they will be, at this stage, planning how to respond, whether they should discredit the results or whether they should find ways of just consolidating that result. So I would say the Nigerian population should be alert at this time. The biggest alert season right now is when the results are coming out. Now, this comes back to the security forces, having things in place, ensuring that things are all mapped out, and basically just well prepared, because that's where the tension could be. But the biggest thing about Nigeria is its resilience. Nigeria is a very resilient country. We've gone through a lot. We've gone through hell and back, and we will survive it, regardless of the shock and the sudden and surprise, and even the outcome would be. I don't know. I don't expect people to concede defeat, but I hope that at least they don't.
But
kill
there
each
must
other.
be a winner and a loser.
There will be a winner and there will be a loser, and there will be court cases.
You have had dealings on a global scale, of course, working with international organizations. What do you think the international community is perceiving these elections to be now?
They like it. They feel it's their biggest concern is security. As long as we're not killing each other on the street, we're not burning each other, we're not, police are not killing everybody on the street, then they like it. Security is number one, and of course Boko Haram is part of security. But that's the biggest concern. Now they would also be very watchful of the results. Their standard for Nigerian election is not high. They want to see progress. They want to see an improvement from the last election. That's key. Okay, fine, it's a developing country. We have to encourage them in the process and ensure that it's better than the last one. And that's where we're going to.
All right, now we'll also move on to correspondent Bukola Ariowo, reporting from Oyo State, to give us the assessment of what's playing out where she is. Hello, Bukola. Elections concluded there in Oyo State as well?
Hello, Chamberlain.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening. Elections are done with, but currently we are at the INEC headquarters here in Ibadan, where the votes are already being announced. Currently, the resident electoral commissioner, who is being assisted by the state collation officer, that's Professor Ayobami Salami, the deputy vice chancellor of OAU, is the one announcing the results that has been collated by the returning officers. We've had results from 20 states, leaving out 13 states. The process is still ongoing, and it looks like we might still have a long night ahead of us like we did last night. There's a lot of journalists actually slept there yesterday, hoping that the results will be collated on time, and then we'll be able to have the results. Now, having said that, I'd like you to know that there's very heavy presence of security right here, but they are kind of not harassing anybody yet. And just a while ago, I spoke to the Oyo State Police Commissioner, that's Mohammed Kassina, who confirmed to me that about 30 arrests have been made at various parts of the Oyo State, and those people, according to him, were arrested with various sorts of weapons, machetes, guns, and some ammunition with some of them. But overall, we had very, very impressive turnout across the state, because we were in about 14 local governments altogether, and we spoke to most of the candidates and a lot of people in town who unanimously agreed that it was a free and fair election and credible to a large extent. We've not had any major incidents except with the shortcomings of the card reader while they were going on yesterday. It was a bit dramatic at Ogbomoso North, where the card reader could not accept the House leader's fingerprints. That's Mulika Akonde. She had to wash her hands like 6 times and still did not recognize her fingerprint. But she used the incident form and she was able to vote at the end of the day. But overall, everything has been calm and it's been silent for a while. We are still at the INEC headquarters, still awaiting the remaining results.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Bukola, and stay safe.
Thank you, Chamberlain. Bye.
Well, there you go. I'll still have to thank Demola. Demola Oshog is a policy analyst. Thank you for coming on the program today. And then GT and Babajide will return in just a moment. But we also like to state categorically that Channels TV takes very strongly our members of staff being attacked while going about their lawful duty, in this case by the police in Cross River State. And as a member of the 4th Estate of the Realm, we call on the Inspector General of Police to investigate what has transpired today. We'll be back in just a moment on our continuing coverage of Nigeria's 2015 elections. Join us again.